The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack.
We'll talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They've been moving the ball well. Drive it started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
They'll make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
But they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
And now this ball picked up in the end zone. Remember, this is a live ball. And he will be taken down here, and that's certainly not how you draw it up. A clever idea, I guess, to try to return the missed field goal, but it's going to wind up costing him yardage. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos
At their own 21. They begin the drive with Williams. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Now this defense for the Lions, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Escaping the pressure right. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions' 27. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Broncos. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
2nd and 5. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Now Wilson.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam.
And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Wilson. Open man. He completes it to Judy. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They go play action with Wilson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver.
Albert Okwuegbunam
From 21 yards away.
And the Broncos go up by 2 touchdowns. Garibay on for the extra point.
And it's good to make it 14-0. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here's a handoff to Swift running left. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. 2nd and 9 now. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
From the gun, here's Swift.
And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Here's Jack Fox now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them. Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On third down, Wilson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. The Broncos send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This will be fielded at the 17. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now.
And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. He's airing it out for Williams. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jamison Williams.
66 yards. And the Lions get a bit closer. Now the try here for the point after. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
From the 27, Wilson.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They'll start on the ground with Swift.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. A break there for this offense as they will get a chance to start at the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
On 2nd down, Swift.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's airing it out for Williams.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
Well, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Let's do this, lady. He's coming. You can't block me. You can't block me.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Switch it. Come here, switch it. Check 52. Switch.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A huge play there for Denver. 59 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with this 4th down call.
They'll try and run for it. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And the Lions will take over. And defensively, they were ready for that. A full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
101 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
He'll buy some time right, and he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
They'll run right here with Swift.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Garabay's kick is good,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Once again, it's Swift.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jamison Williams.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in 1 shot.
1 shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
They go play action now. Wilson.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Play action. Now Wilson. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. but when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And some space here. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there.
With his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
The extra point up and good by Garibay.
And the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Swift going to try up the middle.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff. And when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't. But also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Watch the run. Watch the run. What's up, baby? That's baby shot.
They run out of the gun with Swift.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
They will run straight ahead with Swift.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And this offense on 3rd down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. He'll drop to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away.
This fielded right at the goal line.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it's all but certain that this win streak is going to extend another week. Just another tremendous performance in this one. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. And And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line.
97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22.
Now a handoff up the middle. Dent. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball. You often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dent. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 3rd down, Dent. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And they were ultra confident coming in, that's for sure. They had won 7 straight, but number 8 not looking to be in the cards right now.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's taken on the 25. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And we talked so much about the